Welcome to Plastic Surgery Secrets Talk, the podcast where we go behind the scenes of everything interesting in plastic surgery and the aesthetics world. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Spiegel.
I'm Dr. Tower.
And I'm Dr. O'Neill from the Spiegel Center just outside of Boston. We are excited for season 3 to continue.
Okay, so it's back to school, and what everyone's doing now is they're looking around at each other, right? You come back to campus, you come back to your high school, whatever, and you're like looking to see who's changed, who's good looking this year, who's not good looking, who's together, who's wearing the right clothing, who smells the right. Everyone's checking each other out.
I miss going to school. Yeah, I missed this.
You were probably on the getting checked out side of it. That's why you missed it. If you were on the checking others out only side, you didn't like that so much. But in any case, so people are looking at each other and they're recognizing each other after the summer. And one of the funny things that happens as a side effect for us of doing these podcasts and some of the social media things we do on our @Dr. Spiegel TikTok and Instagram and various other channels is that we get recognized at the strangest places. So your anonymity goes away a little bit. And one of the things that, is it's nice to meet people who are following you, but it's also awkward because, if I'm walking around with a piece of spinach in my teeth or something, it's very awkward when someone sees me, right? So we have a few stories of interesting run-ins with people who recognize us from this world.
Well, I remember the first time it happened to me. I took my daughter to the dentist. We were sitting in the reception area waiting for the dentist, and this woman across from me just kept smiling and smiling, and I smiled back. I knew I didn't know her. And that happens to me a lot. You go to the supermarket, you go to different places, and people smile at you, and you're like, oh,
they're
yeah,
scowling at me always. I don't know.
But I know sometimes you're like, yeah, I know that's a patient, but you can't approach them because of HIPAA regulations. So, you try to be like, you just smile back. And if they approach you, you start talking to them. But if they don't, you kind of stay low. But this incident, I knew I did not know this person. They were not a patient. They were not anyone I could recognize. So I smiled back just to be nice. And then not 2 minutes after that, she goes, I know you don't know me, but I know you. And you had the funniest story the other day because I follow you on Instagram. And it was like so bizarre. It was like, oh, okay. And my daughter was kind of young. She goes, Mom, you're famous. So it was kind of funny.
Oh, well, and I have a story of you doing something similar to someone else. Dr. O'Neill and I were at the Mount Washington Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
in New Hampshire, the Omni Mount Washington Hotel, which is a beautiful, classic old hotel. Yeah. And we were eating breakfast, and this couple we were eating with says, oh, look, at the next table is Captain America, Chris Evans. Right? Chris Evans. And Dr. O'Neill says, really? That'd be cool to get a picture with him. So she goes over to the next table and goes, something like, hey, I hear you're famous. Let's get a picture together. And she says that to the guy at the table, and he goes, no, it's not me, it's him. She went to
really? So wait, was it actually Chris Evans?
No, Chris Evans was at the table.
He was there.
She went to the wrong guy.
To the wrong guy, the guy across from me.
I'm sure that guy was thrilled to. Yeah.
Sorry,
it was his
Chris.
brother. So
okay, close enough.
It was his brother. But yeah, I just didn't recognize.
Because we don't know anything about these Marvel characters.
I don't know. Yeah, it was really.
That was a good one though.
Yeah.
And that's another one where he's like, okay, recognized by the public. This is unusual.
I'm newer to this, so I'm not as famous as the two of you.
When you walk around.
But things are changing.
No,
there are signs.
Yeah.
So recently, we post weekly little videos on my Instagram.
Yep.
And one of them, I can't even remember what the topic was, but nobody commented about the content of the video itself. They're all like, you got a great haircut. It looks so good. And so I'm like, amazing. So obviously people are watching. They recognize me. They're watching, but they don't care what I have to say. They're just like the haircut now.
Well, a lot of people watch their Instagram on mute, right? So because they're on the bus or at a meeting at work.
Yeah. but that's,
so they're paying attention.
No idea. I got so many comments on your hair like the last 2 weeks. But the best one was actually Dr. Tower, me walking with my shoes today.
Oh my God, I'm getting in trouble.
Cool shoes. I was like, I've been wearing them since May.
This happens at home all the time. whenever
I was like, you're a plastic surgeon, but you're still a guy.
I should really,
Yeah,
I should
but
really
it's
just
also
learn.
faces. He's looking at your face.
Yeah, he's only
That's
looking
Not a
at the
podiatrist.
faces. Yeah.
I need to just stop commenting on people's attire because if you don't catch it when it's brand new, it's like it's
so
too late.
So
yeah.
not cool.
You've already made your own
What
do
you
choice.
say is, I knew that, but they're still looking good.
Yeah.
But patients are commenting about your haircut. It's a cool haircut.
Yeah, that's another one. No one comments on my hair or haircut.
So,
I gotta go get one. But we have been recognized in other places.
you've had like viral videos that have like
I've had
gone
a couple
crazy.
of viral videos where I comment on celebrities that I don't know who they are.
So what's the secret to going viral? Like,
Yeah, coughing
Dish.
on others, I believe, is one of the
Well,
secrets
yeah.
to viral spread. I have no idea, believe me, none whatsoever. But every now and then we say something and people like it and share it, which is really fun. And then they tell people who tell people, and then we get recognized. Like we went to an ice cream shop in New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
And we go, I parked the car right in front of this ice cream shop. We went inside, we get ice cream, we're sitting there, and again, someone's staring at us. And this is, an hour and a half away from the office.
yeah.
Right.
And then person comes over and is like, I follow you on Instagram.
And that's the most random encounter.
Oh, we've had teachers at our daughter's school, different schools, come over to us and be like, I saw the name of the kid in my class, but I didn't know it was like your kid because I follow you on Instagram.
Yeah.
So do you like the attention? Do you dislike, or do you feel neutral about it?
Well, there's sometimes that I like it, and there's sometimes that I wish I had more attention. Like, for example, we did a little thing where we had a photo shoot next to a Lamborghini because the Lamborghini was parked in front of where I was. That was the reason. And then Lamborghini sent us a bottle of Lamborghini champagne.
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty cool.
We got to start doing more. We need more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got sent a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I got sent a bunch of stuff by InMode. It was like one of the very first sort of videos we did when I joined the Spiegel Center. And it was like, I get so many comments about how young I look. So we were like, okay, we'll turn this into a little bit of a joke. Like, how do I look so young? It's because I'm doing Morpheus like
All
every
day.
day, and it's reversing my aging process and this and that.
Which works, by the way.
Yeah, and InMode loved it. So they sent me like this huge box of swag, like hats and sunglasses and water bottles.
Good for preventing
Actually, a bunch
sun
of
exposure.
Morpheus tips too.
That's outstanding.
And so, yeah, so we had some, and then I happen to have my son is like my identical twin, but like my baby version.
But he actually
So
is
we
young.
Yeah, so we got to take it a step further though, and we're gonna do some anti-aging that takes me all the way back
Before and
to
afters.
to toddlerhood, basically.
That's an excellent
So
idea.
that's coming.
And so that's awesome. It's funny that it happens by accident, right? We weren't looking for swag from Lamborghini or InMode, but when we are looking for someone to respond, they don't. Case in point, Frank's Red Hot Company.
Frank's.
I literally put that stuff on everything, truly. And yet you've never
Frank's Red
even
Hot.
sent us anything.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's so.
And that's why we're moving on to Snyder's of
Breaking
Hanover
our heart.
pretzels, which are much.
Well, does Frank's have a competitor? Maybe we should try to, switch to a different hot
It's
sauce
sad,
brand.
but nothing's as good as it.
That's the sad
See that,
truth.
Frank's? Come on, I'm really sucking up to you.
Throw us a bone.
All right. Well, anyway, the truth is, and I had another one where I was out to lunch recently with the same daughter, and some lady's dog went to the bathroom on the sidewalk right next to where we were eating outside, and she bent down to pick up the dog droppings and kind of looked around to see who was seeing her, and she goes, "Oh, it's you! I follow you on Instagram." And I'm like, "Oh, right.
Yes.
Well, thanks for picking up the dog in front of my table. Follow us for
I mean,
more."
Come on, listen. We
That's
didn't
sweet.
choose acting as careers, so it is kind of cool.
It's
and,
fun.
And
Well, we weren't.
there-
It wasn't an option. That's why.
yeah, but well, we could have chosen acting as careers. I don't know how well.
You mean
we would
waiting
be
tables?
doing.
Yeah.
Knowing us, we'd probably be still waiting tables. There's a point there.
Community theater.
Yeah. But it is fun, and actually social media, gets a lot of bad rap, but it is fun.
We love
and
we love when people come over and talk to us. It's really great, and
Yeah.
it's most important that people are paying attention and listening, because what's the point of doing this if it just goes out into the ether and gets sent to outer space, never to be seen or heard by anyone?
Absolutely. So
That's
we
right.
love all the comments, and we
And
do
please
love
do.
when our social media manager comes over. It's really fun.
It's
It
always
always
fun.
makes like the day just.
So
kind
now
of,
we're gonna-
I love saying that I have a social media manager. Whenever it comes up, like outside
It
of
wasn't
work
my fault.
context and
I
stuff
was
like that.
told to do this.
I feel
people-
like I have a lot of managers.
There are a lot of people in my life who, like, you know, they're not here day to day seeing what we do, but what they do see is what we're putting on social media, and they go, "Oh, it's so cool." And I'm going like, well, it's really all of our social media. A person does a lot of this, and
in
like,
all seriousness,
give a lot of credit.
In all seriousness, one of the things that I tell all of our patients is they come in and they're sometimes nervous. They're like, I really want this to go well with no complications and to look good. And what I tell them is, listen, we share that. We want you to look great, come out of this feeling wonderful and safe with no ill effects. But more than that, we also want you to have a nice experience. I want you to finish your procedure or your time with us at the Spiegel Center and be like, I'm sorry it's done. That was so much fun. And this is just part of that. So we're going to end with several truths and a lie, or 2 truths and a lie. In August, it was Dr. Tower who asked us some questions about surgical cancellations.
And
so
now I'm
Dr.
on the spot.
O'Neill, you're the one.
Okay,
Try to
so
stump
I'm
us.
going to do, well, it is back to school, right? It's September, and I'm getting a lot of patients who are like, you know, they took off the summer and what have you, and now they're going back to school, or the moms are going to stand on the bus stop again with their kids, so they need their Botox and fillers all straightened up. So I'm going to give you 2 places where I've injected and one's the wrong one, and you guys will have to
How's your guess?
choose which one is this. Okay, so I inject the lips. No.
This is not so hard a game.
I've seen you doing that one on our social media.
I just thought I wanted to see the reaction.
It's true.
Okay.
I feel like
Inject
I'm going to
the
win this
hands,
game.
the back of the hands.
Do you inject your
Okay.
hand? Do you
Do I
inject people's
inject
hands?
the back of the hands? Do I inject earlobes? How about nipples? Okay, so hands, ears, nipples. That's what I can think about.
Okay.
Okay, I know that we're injecting hands in our practice, and I know that it's got to be you.
Yeah.
So hands, I think, is true.
Hands down.
Diluted radius, baby. It goes a long way.
Earlobes, I know, is a thing because I think no, Kardashian didn't do it, but I know it's a thing. And nipples is just too far out. I can't imagine somebody paying money to have their nipples injected with filler. But
What do you
I
think,
don't know.
Dr. Spiegel?
I'm going to pass because I kind of know the answer.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead.
All right, so hands we do all the time, very, very regularly. And the ears I do all the time too, because funny enough, ears can be that, you know, that like the icing on the cake, or like that last straw.
It's an anti-aging, right?
It's
People's
so
earlobes get
anti-aging.
like
Yeah, especially for
atrophic.
women.
When your ears start hanging low with your same
Yeah.
earrings that used to sit
If you
right.
wear heavy earrings,
They just
they
need a little
really-
bit of
A little
a
support.
little zhuzh.
Yeah.
That's what we call a little zhuzh.
little zhuzh.
And nipples I'm doing next week, so
So this
There you
2
go.
truths and a lie is only a lie depending on what day you listen to this podcast.
that's true.
That's true. By the time
It's
this
very time
goes, it'll all
sensitive.
be true.
Well, thank you for listening to Plastic Surgery Secrets Talk. If you like what you heard and want to get in contact with us, call 617-566-3223. Email us at info@drspiegel.com. Follow us on all of your favorite social media channels at drspiegel.com.